Hey guys, Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. So I'm actually here at Pikes. So I'm continuing my project of working at the front of the subdivision, and they actually have green giant arborvitae on sale. Normally they're $249, and guys, get this, they're $99. So I came out and I got 3 of them that you see behind here. I'll turn the camera around so you can see them. But we're going to remove some old shrubs at the front of the subdivision, and then I'm going to have the landscaping guys are going to come pick this up, remove the old shrubs, and then plant them in. So I wanted to show you guys the green giant that I got, and this was a steal for the size of these plants. So I'm going to continue this project. So for this one here, you'll probably see the before and after. I'm not sure what else I'm doing at the front of the subdivision in this video, but you'll see. Below, if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend too. So let me turn it around and show you which ones I selected. All right, so they're actually 15 gallon container. And guys, look at the size of each one of them. And when I take you to the front of the subdivision, you'll be able to see where it's going. And why I like green giant is the fact that their leaves kind of like shape down as opposed to up, and they just look beautiful. And then it's going to also be evergreen, and so we'll have some good some good coverage in the winter time. And also look at how the end of the leaves look a little bit yellowish. I love that feature on it. Plus, when I do the containers for the front of the subdivision, I'll be able to trim here and there to get a couple of sprigs here and there for the subdivision mailbox. Alright guys, so we're actually here at the front of the subdivision, and the area that we're working on is this area back here that you see the transformers, or those are AT&T transformers, like right over there. So all that area, I need to be able to have something that blocks it. So that's where the green giant arborvitae comes in, because it's evergreen, and it will basically block it all season. So let me show you the ones that I'm going to be removing and what my thought process is. And I only got 3 because when you look at the specs of the green giant, it says it can get 15 feet wide. So I'm keeping that in mind. So I only got 3 for this area. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to have the guys remove all of this, including the trees that are falling down here. And then I'm going to have them remove these 3 as well. And one of them will go over there, still keeping the path clear. Hopefully you can see me. One in the middle here, and then the other one anchoring right here. And I think that would be good, because what will happen is you can still walk past to get to the transformers while keeping it, giving it some privacy. Now this is only like phase 1 of this part of the project. I'll show you what else I intend on doing. Find other things on sale. I do intend on removing these as well and putting some other form of evergreen shrubs on there, while continuing to develop this area into a mixed border. So we have here, what's that yellow thingy? I'll pop it on the screen. Forgot what the name of it. That comes up, daylilies, I think, that comes up here, yellow. And then there's roses, a line of roses here. I've got a butterfly bush. I had 3 roses, not hibiscus, but only 1 came back. But I'm basically developing this area to be a mixed border as well. But with the intention, so keeping this pathway here clear so the guys can get to their transformers, because we do have to keep that accessible, but we can block it with the arborvitaes. So that's I'm pretty sure I'm going to eventually have to move this coral bark maple, because I think it's now going to be too close to the green giant. But don't worry, because my thought is if I move it, I have a spot that I can put it. Not sure if you can see it, but there's a spot right over there that has a little outcurve of the bed that can go there, because it can give it a little bit of a height. So if I need to move it, that's where I'm going to move it, because it's a beautiful coral bark maple that I got on clearance last year, actually, from Pikes when they had it on sale. Was it last year or the year before that? I can't really remember on that, but I thought it was a pretty good spot. But now that I'm doing other work, I'm just going to go ahead and move it if I need to. But what I'm going to do is, if I need to move it, I'll probably move it like in fall once it's cooler. It's way too hot right now to move it. While we're here, let's share a little bit an update on the front flower beds to show you what they're looking at. The what do you call it, the pinnacle hydrangeas are blooming, and we got a lot of rain, so some of them are up, some of the flowers are too heavy, so they fell. So let's give you a look. We got pretty severe what do you call it, rainstorm, and the blooms got to be too heavy, and even though we pruned them severely, they're all falling over, which I thought that when you prune pinnacle hydrangeas severely, the stems would be stronger, but the flowers are much heavier with all of the water. So as you can see all the way down here, they kind of lay down a little bit, and some of them are still blooming. And for the front, we had planted some Dusty Miller and some zinnias in front here. Not too impressed, I would say, with this zinnia. I thought it would have been a little bit more prolific, but it's not. I do love all the colors that it's given. I'll bring you a little closer so you can see it, but I just don't think that it's prolific. I'm not going to repeat this for next year. I'll find something else for next year. Let's show you the other side. So on this side are pinnacle hydrangeas that are bordering the fence, are actually doing really well, but they're again too heavy. The blooms are too heavy, so they all fell down. In terms of this flower bed, I noticed that these zinnias are doing much better compared to the others because I think it has more sun. What I noticed is that the red bud that's over on the other side gives it a little bit more shade, so it's not getting as much sun as this side of the bed that has more sun, and the zinnias are a little bit more prolific compared to the other one. And of course, the hydrangea fell down. I may have to come tie that up because the blooms are too heavy and they're filled with too much water. Let's share a little bit about the blooms on the zinnia, because they are quite beautiful with all the different colors. They're just not prolific enough, and I thought that I planted a lot of them, but oh well. Alright, so here's the flowers. As you can see, lots of different variation in the colors, and I love how these came out. This one here has a lot of variation in the color too as well, but they're just not prolific enough to make a big impact. Two of my dahlias that I planted from seed last year actually came back this year, and they're growing. Hey guys, I'm back here at the front of the subdivision. As you can see, the guys have taken out the bushes that I told them to take out. And so I'm filming this like Friday afternoon. I think he took it out yesterday. So I am going to basically stake where I want the three green giant arborvitae to go, and then I'm gonna spray paint it as well. And I bought these stakes because I would like to basically stake them and then come out from the road and make sure that I stake them like at the correct size and all of that. And these are tall enough so I can see them. It's a pretty large space, and so I'm just basically going to place them, and then I'll give you a front on look as well too, and then you can see what they basically look like. So let's do that first. And the bugs are out, guys. I forgot my clip-on, so I gotta really hurry. Now this particular space here, so the green giant is like 15 feet tall typically. So the green giant at maturity is 15 feet wide. So you can imagine 7.5 feet this way and 7.5 feet this way. So I think I spaced them out correctly, but let's do a full-on front view and just see how everything is. Look, I am pretty sure I'm gonna probably have to move that coil bark maple from there to probably over there because it's in the way. I may need to move it in the fall because yeah, it's going to be on here. So there's one right there, one there, and one right there. I think I got them spaced out correctly. Yeah, I think I got them spaced out correctly with enough space so that the guys can have a walkway over on that side. So one there, one there, one there. Guys, people are driving by and they're looking at me filming and they're probably wondering what is going on. All right, so let's spray the holes too as well, so we'll have like an extra thing just in case anybody pull these stick up, they'll be able to see it. Alright, I've got everything marked now. I'm just gonna make sure these are in a little bit stronger, so in case the wind, if it blows tonight, it's not going to fall over. So let me do that. I should have brought my pruners. There's a lot of deadheading that has to be done here. Alright guys, we'll come back another day once they're in and then show you what they look like. All right, so it's a couple of days later. While we're waiting for the guys to plant the Arborvitae, there are some much needed work I have to do in the front of the subdivision, mostly deadheading and a couple of weed pulling and all of that. And I've got a couple of some time today, so I figure why not do it. And it's in the mid 80s, still hot, but I should have gotten out here earlier in the day, but I was kind of busy with other stuff. So now's when I have the time. So we're going to start at the front here. Rid of this Nandina that is growing over here is ridiculous. I'm going to have to buy that stump out and plant that, but we need to get rid of all of these little growths here. Find that stump out and buy the stump out and brush the ends where I cut them off, and I think that should help. So that would probably be maybe a fall project or something. I'm way overdue to also clean up this area here. The irises are done blooming, so I just need to deadhead it too as well. Just giving this area a cleaner look. The crepe myrtle is actually blooming, which is really nice. I'll pan it a little bit so you can see it. Guys, so this looks like it was intentional, right? Nope, this is actually a weed. So I need to take this one out. Let me see where the root of it is. I may just have to cut it piece by piece until I get to the bottom of it. I should have pulled it out earlier. get a root out on this. I don't think I can pull this out, but oh well. It is out now. So now let's deadhead the echinacea and the coreopsis and all of that, because they're much needed for some deadheading, and then we can clean up the lamb's ear too as well. So we've got, our salvia is blooming again. Second set of flush. We got some weeding to do. Coreopsis need to be deadhead, echinacea, and weeding. I'm going to sprinkle the seeds right over here because I'm hoping that they sell seeds and I get some more echinacea plants from this. I'm going to sacrifice a couple of blooms on the coreopsis because I'm a little bit behind in trimming this back for a second set of flush, and the flowers have started flushing back out, but it's okay. And if you remember, these are all we got from clearance last year. So I'm happy that they all survived and are doing well. So they are striving, and so are the weeds, guys. The plumbago is starting to spread, which is this over here, so I still have to dig some up from home and bring them here because I have a lot that's spreading at home. May do that in the fall because plumbago is evergreen for us. Alright, so for the lamb's ear, what I'm going to do is around the edge of it, every so often you have to clip out all of the old leaves and just leave the middle to basically rejuvenate. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of a touch up with that. I'm just making sure there's no creepy crawlers first before I do anything. And it just gives it like a much cleaner look. You can just basically just pull it just like that instead. Oh, there's a little baby snake. Oh, man. All right, so I'm gonna leave it to do its thing. So I'm just pulling out all of the old pieces. You see how nice and clean the edges look now? a little tiny baby snake there. I just moved it out. It's one of those harmless ones. So it's getting ready to rain a little bit, so I finished this part of it out, but see how nice and beautiful it looks? Gives it a more fresh look. So this is like a mid-season lamb's ear. Oh, I gotta get back in the car and wait for the other thing because it's raining now, guys. We'll continue. Alright guys, editing Lisa here. So I realized that my microphone was not on during this period of the video. I apologize for that, but what I'm basically saying is I'm going to continue the cleanup of the lamb's ear, and then also the guys are at the front of the subdivision and they are actually planting the arborvitae, so I'll be able to go ahead and show you that. Guys, this is pretty much plain geeky, but I have to tell you, I thoroughly enjoy myself cleaning up the lamb's ear. It's so nice to see it all nice and neat and tiny, and the separation from everything. It just looks amazing when it's all done. Stay tuned for the grand reveal to show what everything looks like at the end of this. Alright guys, here's the grand reveal. Everything is done. So we weeded back the scabiosa on this bed that we just created. And guys, look at our rose. It's blooming. Yay. Weeded this entire area here. Got as much weed as I possibly can out. And then in the area in front of the clubhouse, look at the crepe myrtle, you guys. Beautiful. Now everything just looks nice and clean. We weeded out the lamb's ear, cut back some things. Over on this side, we got some weeds out. And guys, look at the lamb's ear. Doesn't it look nice and sharp now, all cleaned up? And we basically deadheaded the echinacea, salvia, the coreopsis, and we weeded that entire area too as well. Look at the lamb's ear on this side. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Everything is just looking nice and sharp. And as the season goes on, we'll fill some of the gaps. We also deadheaded the rose as well. So everything is looking really great. The guys are done planted the arborvitae, so we'll go look at those. But I want to point out that all of the conifers we planted and the Japanese maple, they're all surviving. That's the red cedar, the hinoki cypress. I love when it hits the sun. See how it has a beautiful yellow? Beautiful. Our baby blue spruce survived. Our Atlas cedar, Carolina cedar. Carolina sapphire as well, and all of the Japanese maple. Hey guys, I had to refilm the ending of this video because the first time I filmed it, my audio was off. So refilming it again. So the 3 arborvitaes are in. So let's show you. There's one that's here, another one that's here, and the other one is over here. Now you have to imagine that over time, these are going to be 15 feet wide. So they should be close to touching each other. As time goes on, and from what I read, arborvitae grow about 3 feet a year or so. I might be wrong on that, but that's what my research says on that. But imagine that once they're in and they grow, they black the transformers that you see in the back there. And so I just absolutely love how they look. I'll show you a profile view, a view straight on so you can see it as well. And we love if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend. I just love how this project is coming along at the front of the neighborhood. And every so often we do something new, and it's transforming from removing all the old dead plants, shrubs, and so forth, and just bringing it up to 2026 standards and so forth. We love if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend. Until next time, happy gardening, and I'll finish off by showing you a front-on view of what the plants look like. So walking up again, I absolutely love, love, love. They look so beautiful. The leaves, it's beautiful how they actually curve. And for the size, everyone, the size is just amazing. And let's show you from the front. So if you're looking front on, you can see the 3 right there. And looking forward, I'm thinking that maybe what I'll do eventually is probably take this out and put a pathway through leading to it. I think that would be a good thing too as well. But I'm starting to develop this area as a mixed border too as well. So lots of work still needs to be done. And I may or may not move the coral bark maple. I'm thinking it probably would be good leaving it where it is, but we'll see over time.